Rampage.
Hey guys, this is Wisper Plays Wisp coming at you with another IO video. This one is in turbo, so I'm going to have to talk fast and think fast because I want to try and let you guys know the way that I'm playing, the way that I'm thinking, and how I can try and win games. Very quickly, I realize this Juggernaut makes two major mistakes. The very first one is after we get the rune, he continues to fight 3 versus 1 with his spin going. This makes no sense. You do not want to be doing this. So very quickly, that's a major mistake for this guy. I don't like anyone who doesn't know what they're doing, and that's a pretty big red flag for me. Second red flag is that he is blocking creeps on Radiant safe lane. Don't do that, guys, because then this happens, and all the creeps get caught under tower. The tower pushes the creeps, and we lose lane equilibrium before the game's even started. So immediately I go, screw that guy, I'm not playing with that dude, he's a piece of shit, I'm going top. And I know this is not the standard way of playing, whereby you just do whatever the hell you feel like, but 11,000 games, boys, the fucks to be given have been reduced. So I have come top with the Kodal, who again, not very good. He's sort of obsessively pushing into the creep wave. He might be damaging allies or enemies as we go, but it's definitely not his primary target. So I'm trying to make good use of what I can. I call for the Ring of Regen early as compared to Gauntlets because I'm already losing a lot of health. I feel a lot of pressure in this lane, and I want to try and kill this guy. I ping for the Kodal to try and set up his Q, and I make sure to melee as much as I can to finish off the kill. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. We have a pretty good base start right here. And yeah, basic stuff like if the Kodal would give me mana, he would also gain mana through Tether. You can't expect people to know this sort of stuff, and I don't think at this point I was too chatty with people. I was just focusing on my gameplay. I was pretty happy for him to sort of make his little mistakes here, because they're much more minor than the Juggernaut mistakes. Here I tried to block the creep wave from going under our tower, again to maintain some lane equilibrium, but the creeps aggroed and it didn't work out all that well. I've also gone 1 point in overcharge and 1 point in spirits, and even me in this moment doesn't know why I've done that. I don't know, I don't have the memory to know if I went overcharge first or spirits first, but I'm guessing it was either a misplay, or I thought overcharge first would be a good call if I was going to be in a strong double melee lane. I was very happy to die here, in that I thought the play that Kodal made with the play that Kunkka made was really good, and in that sense I wasn't upset at all. That's why I wrote well played in all chat. If someone kills me and I'm genuinely impressed by how they pulled it off, I'm gonna tell them. Like that's not a problem for me. I'd rather die because you were a genius than I was an idiot. So yeah, no problems there. I still am pretty confident about how this lane can go. Nature's Prophet is basically non-existent at this point. He's a little bit not in the game, but I know he does come back towards the end. And this is one of those matches, guys, right? We're down 1 and 5. We're 4 versus 5 in terms of how the game is matching up. I wouldn't say we have a brilliant hold on what we're doing here, but at the same time, we're not exactly hard losing either. Certainly losing in the GPM state, but I mean, man, those cuts from Kunkka hurt a lot. But Kodal is doing a pretty good job to at least put the damage onto the enemy heroes as well as the creeps, which is, you know, the best you can ask for, really. And Kunkka puts himself massively out of position here. Great play by the Kodal to blow him back, and we're able to get the kill. I want to try and bait this guy. I don't trust that he's really as good as he thinks he is from what I've seen so far, and I still have a salve up my sleeve. So I run, I salve, and here the storm runs in, and immediately I just want to relocate out. I just hit 6, I have my ultimate, Kodal and I are both gonna die. The best I can do is try to save one of us. Do I bring the Kodal back with me? No, I don't. I think at the very last minute, and I honestly would have gotten out myself if not for the Kunkka X. So unfortunately, I don't know why I tried to TP there. I think there was a little bit of desperation, hoping something interesting would happen, but unfortunately not. But yeah, I think those are the only two deaths I'm going to have all game, so things will be looking up from here, I can assure you. I have my core set of items done, Urn of Shadows for damage and healing, Soul Ring to make sure that I have my own mana sorted out, as well as giving other people large amounts of mana. Nature's Prophet is shown back up, finally crushing it at level 2. We're in it for the win, boys. I got a wand to make sure that I can flash heal people through Tether, as well as maintain my own stuff. And now I'm working towards Helm of the Dominator. It's a pretty go-to item for me regardless of if I'm going to be support or carry, but this game I'm pretty quickly realizing that we're 3-7. The rest of my team is not really doing their jobs in their lanes, or at least not doing them very well. So the damage output is probably going to have to be coming from me, because I have a feeling it's not going to be coming from them. It is nice to see now in retrospect that the net worth of Kotal is pretty high, but that's just because, you know, he's been AFK clearing waves the whole time. Again, pretty happy with the performance of this Kotal. Great ultimate from him to pin the Kunkka in place. I don't think he would have gotten that kill if not for me, but I was, you know, glad to help, glad to make it all work and put it all together. So the idea behind the Helm of the Dominator is that it gives you pretty strong healing if I want to go hard support. It does very strong healing in AoE, which is great for team fights, and I've mentioned many times before that, here I relocate behind as they run, because I thought I could catch the Storm Spirit, and I don't see him, so we just run right into the Tusk and kill him instead. But yeah, the healing works very, very well if we want to be a healing IO, and then the speed and the bonuses that come from the creep are great if we want to be a damage IO or something else. This Storm Spirit comes back, and this was stupid of him. I don't have my own creep yet, but Kotal's very, very fast, and I'm able to just run this guy down. I put an Urn of Shadows on him, so that even if he does break away with very little health, he ends up dying. And that gives me a bananas amount of gold. Between the tower going down and those two kills, I have an extreme amount of gold all of a sudden. In fact, I'm #1 net worth in the game at 7 minutes. So my Helm of the Dominator is done very, very fast. Again, guys, this is turbo. This is, you know, not exactly the pace it's meant to be played at, but it's certainly the pace that it can be played at. Remember, I was 0-2 in the beginning here. I made sure to grab an Alpha Wolf. The idea behind that is the 30% physical damage increase in an AoE is great for teams. It was also just the closest creep I had on me at the time. I ran into Storm Spirit here as he TP'd in, and that was quite risky. And I'm realizing around this point in the fight that we shouldn't have taken this fight. We shouldn't be here. We should be getting the heck out of here. We're in a bad position on their half of the map. We're outmanned. It's all in all. Nature's Prophet is horribly underleveled. It's not a good time. So I essentially abandon everyone to die and go farming instead. I'm 1,600 gold away from my Ags, and I basically play around Ags these days because the damage boost that you can get from it is insane. The way I try and describe it to people is that in an average IO Spirits cast, you cast 5 damage orbs, spirits, and those last for 20 seconds. You can only cast them once every 20 seconds. With an Aghanim Scepter, in a best case scenario, you get 20 orbs in 20 seconds. They regenerate once per second. So this is a really powerful way that you can not just double, triple, quadruple your magic damage output with one item. Not to mention the slows at level 10, not to mention the double damage increase at level 15. This is just very powerful stuff. Here I make another relatively bad play because I'm relocating into a team fight. The team fight's basically over, and there's a Kunkka. If this Kunkka X's either one of us, we are 100% dead here, and we just get lucky. The Kunkka doesn't have the X ready, or it's on cooldown, or he didn't realize, and we were able to kind of get away literally with murdering the Grimstroke. But yeah, very dicey, and lesson to learn from my mistakes is don't do that in the future. Almost anybody else is totally okay, but Kunkka especially is a sketchy one to be TPing into. Here I'm able to finish off the Ags. I'm making sure to try and get some farming done in some downtime to get my gold up. And I'm doing pretty darn well here. I'm very happy. I play a bit of turbo these days, trying to work on the behavior score. You guys know how it is. But yeah, the idea is that I think I'm doing pretty well even for a turbo game. I have picked up the Satyr Tormentor here, not so much for the healing buff, as I've talked about previously, but I'm really trying to practice maximizing the Q from creeps that you dominate to increase your farm DPS. Because by increasing your farm DPS, you're increasing your farming rate, so you're increasing your gold gain rate, so you have more gold at the end of the game. So I'm really trying to focus on the use of this creep because it has a 8-second cooldown on its Q. Not to mention the bonuses to the healing and everything else that it does that we already talked about. The Alpha Wolf is great in the end game when everyone's super pumped and has all of their items, and that 30% physical damage can be a whole lot. But right now, all I really need is some extra DPS and some speed. And then I can use this guy to increase my farm and get more items. I've already finished off my Veil of Discord. I've hit 16. I was 15 when I was fighting that lion. So the reality is my spirits are hitting strong. I have a crap ton of damage. I'm #1 net worth in the game. And this is the reason I wanted to show this game, is because stuff... I realize that I'm in a powerful position and I'm attempting to snowball. And this is what it looks like when Wisper attempts to snowball. I'm trying to run down this Kunkka. Turns out he ran right past me. But I come back to finish off the lion instead. Again, guys, the damage that comes from this Aghanims is pretty tough to beat. On top of my talents that I've picked to support that, on top of the Veil of Discord that I have, which gives me 25% more magic damage on a skill that is quadruple the strength. I mean, what, octa the strength? Because it is double damage from your talents and then 4 times as many of them through Aghanims. You guys get what I'm getting at. It's a lot of damage. So the reality is that having something that supports that, like Veil, is great. The HP regen is excellent. The armor is sexy. The intelligence is not really necessary because once you have Aghanims, you don't cast your spirits anymore, so you don't really need your mana. And in fact, I think you guys will see me do that. I'm pretty sure I will sell my Soul Ring to make room for my next incoming item. But yeah, between the slow, they can't move if you have Aghanims on. I'm going here for the 15 armor talent. I previously talked about how I wasn't particularly sure on the 15 armor talent, and I'm relatively sure there's a clip in this game coming up that wholeheartedly supports why I love the 15 armor talent. I'm pretty sure it's about to be here. But the reality is that the way Kunkka dies, the way Io dies, is Io gets beat up. 3 dudes will run around Io and smash you to death until you die. That's how it works. You're trying to tether out, you're trying to relocate, and the reality is you get beat to death. But if you have 15 additional armor, the tankiness that comes out of that on top of Veil, on top of the little bit of armor in Nervous Shadows, I'm so tanky with 15 armor. It's disgusting how little I can die with 15 armor. It takes literally a village to try and kill me, and even in this position, as you guys can see, I just tether out. I survive the Hex, I survive the Tusk ult, and I can just tether to relative safety. I almost feel bad for this guy. Like, this is... I'm hardly trying now. I'm just contracting my spirits and running in circles until he dies. Like I said, guys, Dota is a game of snowball. That's why Meepos win. So I'm trying to take as much advantage of the position that I'm in as possible. I go for a Heart of Tarask and still have 3,000 gold left over, so things are looking pretty much up. And yeah, I'm trying to not do anything stupid like put myself in a position to get picked off by the Storm Spirit, but once again, 15 armor means that you really have to get picked off. You know what I mean? See how much damage I did to him without even attacking him relative to what he did to me on the jump in? Like, guys, this is silly. At this point, I've hit 25, so I'm attacking every time my tethered ally attacks. If you control your own creep, you can control where you double attack, which is always a good bonus, but also the attack speed on the Satyr Tormentor is not amazing. It's worse than if I took over a creep, like you guys see me do here. I take over a ranged creep because they have one of the fastest attack speeds in the game. So with that in mind, if he is attacking very quickly, I'm attacking very quickly once I have level 25. And yeah, guys, like I said, it's pretty tough for them to kill me at this point. Now that I have Heart of Tarask, I can tether to my allies and heal them up in between short team fight bursts like this. So you see here, they are able to get down the Nature's Prophet, but the Codal, which would have died also, ended up being 100% HP. And even stuff here, I'm able to tether to the Codal and help keep him alive during the team fight using overcharge, passive healing, all that good stuff. And the whole time, I don't have to worry about casting spirits. I know they're continuously going to be coming out. All I got to do is focus on pushing them in, pushing them out. And I can chase down this Tusk. I know how to feel out people with my spirits. And yeah, even they at this point recognize that I'm holding the game up, so to say. Damn, I did not realize I had a 10,000 gold lead on these guys. That was not prevalent to me in the game, but hey, I'll take it. I don't even know what I buy at this point. I think honestly I would go for, yeah, I mean this is gross. Like I can feel where you're running. I think I actually lose him here. I go for Nullifier at this point because I wanted to play around with it. The concept being not so much the dispel or the mute function, but the idea that every time I attack somebody, they're slowed by quite a bit, works very well if I have a level 25, so I'm basically double or triple attacking the whole time. So this concept, they're basically going to be very unable to move. On top of the slow for my spirits, they're going to be basically immobile. That's my thought process, is that this is going to be a great way for me to control the literal movements of my enemies as well as what they can do in a team fight, their item escapes, all that stuff. If I was really snazzy, I would have sat down and thought about, okay, what items are they going to be using on their team, and is it worth it to get a nullifier over a different item? But I had 5,000 goddamn gold in games over, so like, you know, we're just having fun at this point, boys. You got to train and test out new ideas where you can. This is one of those situations. Yeah, I mean, I don't need vision. My I mean, just watch. If I was a better teammate right now, I would be more focused on tethering to other players. I could have. Last thing I'm doing at this point is I'm getting a spirit vessel. I'm upgrading my urn, and the idea behind that is that stops the ability of the fountain to heal you. So we can actually murder you in your fountain now without you regenerating hardcore health all the time. So that's the concept. That's why I picked that up. You'll see me pick it up in more normal games when we're going end game against big carry tanks, Alchemist, Necro, that sort of stuff, who are able to heal themselves continuously. Huskar, this is a great way to help shut them down, but in this scenario, it's sort of explicitly to troll the enemy team and try and get that rampage. But yeah, like I said, boys, pretty quick game. I just wanted to show what you can really do. My god, I have a literal 2 times GPM on Star Wars. But yeah, this has been a fun time, good games, a little bit of a comeback. And hey, all done by an IO who didn't even stay in his original lane. So not perfect by any means, but hopefully educational for you guys. So yeah, hopefully you guys learned something new. I'm still pretty impressed by the GPM lead and all that, but yeah, item ideas, stuff for you guys to think about, all that. So we'll be in touch soon. Thanks, guys. See ya.